Some women are male-centered. And this is a relatively maybe newish term to many of us. But the behavior, we've seen the behavior before. But it's more apparent in this day and age than it's ever been. Male-centered in the sense of if they're not attached to a man, if what they're saying or doing is not connected to a man, they have no identity. It's almost like the woman is either coming from a man or going towards a man at every step. No aspect of her life is actually focused on her, or at least very few aspects of her life are actually connected directly to her and only about her. There is always some sort of a connection to a man. And it's sad. Maybe we'll change a little bit of what we said earlier. In the past, women had to be focused in some ways, like focused on the man because he was the breadwinner, right? Or in certain circumstances, at a period of time in history, men were the only ones allowed to do pretty much anything, including making money and other important activities in society, right? But in this day and age, when you see it raises a red flag. At least back in the day, you can understand that. Okay, well, she doesn't have a choice. She's, bound. It's literally a survival mechanism because if she's not in the proper state, then she's at risk. Her livelihood is at risk, and so is the livelihood of her children. So it makes sense to some degree that back in the day they would focus on the man in the sense of survival. So even then it was a focus on her, right? Focus on making sure that she's not left, stranded. Even then. So indirectly, it was still focusing on her, making sure that she's good, right? But nowadays, with all these access and technology and these although things are not perfect, but these advancements in gender equality and things like that, women having access to all types of luxuries, including making money, which isn't a luxury in itself, it's just a necessity. But nowadays, that's not a problem, right, for women to do that. Again, we're not going to get into the details of it, obviously. There's still work to be done as far as systemic changes and things like that. But in general, women can provide for themselves. So the providing part is not an issue. Now that it's not an issue, you still have women literally running to men, begging them for crumbs, essentially. Begging them for the bare minimum. And you have women acting very strange around other women because of a man. So basically everything they do, everything they say, their behavior and their words have some sort of influence to the idea of a man. Whether he knows it or not, he doesn't even have to know it. It's just that she lives for the man. You see what I mean? So it's sad, especially when you see it's sad, period, but especially when you see talented, smart, beautiful women lowering themselves to reducing themselves to pretty much nothing. Okay? It just shows a real lack of self-respect and dignity to lower yourself that much for another human being, man or woman, right? For another human being. It's like, wow. It's heartbreaking to see that. And maybe, maybe some of us have done it unconsciously to some extent. Maybe, But to live in your entire life under the spell of servitude towards a man who may or may not be aware of you is the ultimate insult to yourself. The ultimate insult. So this is why women can never get anywhere. Some of them can never get anywhere. Because mentally, they're not there. Mentally, they don't exist to themselves. They have no identity outside of him. They have no identity. Where he goes, she goes. Whether he knows her or not. She has this image of him, this concept of him in her mind that dictates how she moves in the world. And it's the saddest thing. It's the saddest thing. And it becomes especially apparent when you see how she treats other women. That's when you know it's bad. That's when you know she's very sick. You have to be very sick to get to a point where you're mistreating other people, other women, because of a man that may or may not know you. He may or may not know you or even care about you, even if he does know you. So, wow. The devastation that this represents is, wow. It's just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. So, hopefully, that's not anyone that you know, but and if it is, hopefully they wake up very, very soon. Very, very soon. It's sad, and well, let's be honest, we know people like this, right? We know people like this. Some of them are our friends and family members or classmates or co-workers. They're everywhere. And all we can do is really just stay away from those people, because it's an illness. It's a mental illness if you're at that point. And some people are not. Some illnesses are diagnosed while some aren't. But there's a lot we can bet that there's a lot of issues that she's experiencing, health issues, relational issues, financial issues, all types of issues. As a result, all types of issues stemming from the fact that she's putting a man on a pedestal, stemming from that alone. There's issues for sure, but hopefully they come to some sort of a realization that this is not a way to live. This is not a way to live your life. Hopefully. And hopefully by then she hasn't burned pretty much every bridge, because some of them do that. They're so far gone that they burn every bridge in the pursuit of a fantasy. And it's like, wow, girl.
sad.